What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Lucifer Season 6 review and mini breakdown. The season started pretty muted after the throwdown of last season's ending with Michael versus Lucifer, leading Lucifer to become God, or at least God pending. Most are ready to say their goodbyes as Maze and Eve are planning their wedding. Chloe is ready to go to the Silver City with Lucifer. Dan is, well, he's dead. Yeah, that sucks. However, Lucifer still is troubled about going to actually be God, and clearly throughout the season does not want this title and is putting it off non-stop. I've always found it simplistic and not true to the show that Lucifer would take over the throne in the Silver City, as his brother was clearly the better choice. But their father knew they would work it out in the end. The problem is we had a season of him umming and ahhing about being God, and that was last season. We get it once more here for the entire season, and another curveball is thrown as his daughter appears. Now, Rory was a pretty decent character, and the actress was Negasonic Teenage Warhead, in case you recognised her in Deadpool 1 and 2. She's introduced as what looks like a looming villain at first, wandering around hell and using Dan to learn how to kill Lucifer. But we even get a look at Michael, who was in eternal damnation now after the last few seasons. She looks a formidable threat and derails Lucifer's story, but pushes forward. Now she pushes Dan's forward as well. I always felt angry that Dan went to hell, but his redemption was beautiful this season and some of the best writing I think the show has had, apart from Lopez's story. His search to make himself less guilty worked very well and had a nice tear-jerk ending, but it led to, yes, the ending we got. However, Rory goes from vengeful mystery trying to kill Lucifer to being a nonchalant, edgy, hot topic enjoyer. The acting was good, but it was a huge curveball on this season, to be honest. And essentially, she came from the future, self-actualizing after talking to Chloe, her mother, on her deathbed about how Lucifer left them. And instantly, Lucifer is like, yeah, I wouldn't actually do that. Now, it didn't really make sense she wouldn't tell her. She could be like, hey, your dad's in hell, but you're probably super powerful, so why not go and visit him? However, like most of this season, if you pull a thread, it does fall apart, much like the apocalypse, which is looming as Lucifer isn't going back to heaven yet. Lopez has a season-long mystery that results in her working out the celestial secrets. Finally. It's shocking, it's been 6 seasons, she's never worked it out. All the while getting over her serial killer PTSD and dating Chloe's replacement. The apocalypse would have been a very cool finale and threat, but in the end it's wrapped up quickly and was pointless, as it turns out all the problems were caused by angels. For a final season, there did not seem to be a kind of urgency. There was a lot of filler, and there was no focus on really a larger threat other than Lucifer going missing or really being killed. The end of that felt a bit cheap, as nearly every problem was like, hey, we've got this problem, we just need to get it fixed. Oh, I've just fixed it with me changing my mind in the end, like we had with the wedding. However, as a fan of the characters, it was really nice having them have closure, but really, everything is settled mostly, and the problems such as Maisie's wedding, which even felt forced, and Adam returning, did feel a bit superfluous. But we must remember this season is just fan service. It's purely fan service to push things forward and close the chapter on pretty much every storyline they've got. Arguably the best character arc was Lopez, as she got over her PTSD and finds love, and like I said, finally works out that everyone is an angel or a demon. However, I found myself watching most episodes thinking, yeah, this was a waste of time, as we hold the whole magic thing, a whole episode dedicated to them going to find where Lucifer could be killed, only for it to be a dentist's. But we did have some real fun moments, like we had Chloe and Lucifer go and actually find out who wants to kill him. And he does find someone who he messed up their life early in the season. And we see the 80s. We see, of course, a cartoon world. And very much this season was about the journey, not the destination. You really have to enjoy what's put in front of you because it's a lot of fun despite not having much substance. While the growth of his brother into a cop made sense, it was so very late in the game, which itself gets upended as he decides to get his siblings to help Action Prayers and take over from Lucifer, who would much prefer to find out why he went missing in the future. Rory came from the future, a time where Lucifer was missing her whole life, and actualized when she was told about her father, and she got so angry she went back to kill him. Her mission to the past and the central mystery as to why does Lucifer go missing was kind of interesting. I'm undecided as to if this was a good reason as to why he went missing. We would later learn that due to the Angel's meddling, the merc who killed Dan was released. Now, of course, that was a big thing, and seeing Dan in that body and being able to kind of atone for his past sort of was nice nonetheless. While Lucifer spends his time trying to win over his daughter and work out what went wrong, he messes up constantly and proves that there is a possibility that he could just simply walk out. However, we have a run-in with the merc who I thought it was just hilariously convenient that Dan was able to possess him and then make amends with his daughter, leading him to move on, and the merc is like, hey, I know everything. And he kidnaps Rory and he wants to use her to kill Lucifer. The action here was some of the best of the last few seasons, which we end with the merc and Lucifer realizes that, hey, there's a better way to deal with hell. Yes, everyone goes in their hell loop, but he can help them process and become better souls. It does work, and I think that him taking over the role and being inspired by Linda to become a therapist does actually work. He's got over himself and now he wants to help others. It's a very cool ending, I think. But the problem is there was no major threat up until possibly the penultimate or the final episode, which was a real shame. And you can tell that these are the most important episodes, not only because they are the end, but they are also an hour long, where the rest of the episodes were like 40 to 47 minutes. And I do think they back-ended a lot of stuff, and stuff needed to be put in the front end. But I did enjoy this season, and like I said, it is all about the journey, I think, with this season. And if you take that and realise that this is a love letter to the show, then you're going to really enjoy it. The time travel for me was a bit odd because we have a sort of bootstrap paradox here going on, as Rory went back in time, engineered why her dad goes missing, and then, of course, she went back to the future, and we see Chloe end up dying and ended up being Lucifer's partner in crime, which was just such a touching and expertly written idea. But the time travel is a bit odd. However, I thoroughly loved it. It's a great end to a great show. And I think that a lot of people are going to have some thoughts. And again, it's just a lot of fun. Now, I am off to go and watch Midnight Mass, which I have a screener for. And I'm very excited. I will bring that to you probably when it's released, obviously. But that is it. Please drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Do subscribe with notifications on. And I'll see you soon. And goodbye.